Hey, this is Dan Morris coming to you from Free Weekly Mastermind. Today we're talking about Evernote. This is the first of what could be a couple of calls. I'm sure it will be two. I do not know if it will be three. Today we're going over the basics and functionality, how to pretty much change your life with it. And on the call number 2, we're going to do a round table where we're going to pass the screen from person to person, and we're going to hear from them different ways that they use Evernote to improve their life and whatever you call it, organization, efficiency. So basically Evernote is a filing cabinet. Now it's a lot more than that, but basically it's a filing cabinet in the cloud. So whatever you put in the cloud is in the cloud. You can access it from your phone, from the library computer, from your laptop. It doesn't matter. So the other thing that Evernote is it's a getting things done tool. This can help you really organize your life. You can go to a totally paperless office. You can go paperless when you travel. You can organize your activities so that when you travel, they're available to you. So anyway, I'm going to go over the whole thing, but that's basically what it is. So go to evernote.com and download it. And then there's all kinds of different tutorials you can watch on your own, but this one's going to be a whole lot more encompassing than any one of these little ones. So if you know Tim Ferriss, he is the 4-hour workweek guy. When asked what couldn't he do without, he said Evernote. I use Evernote every day. He's created a paperless life, like I just mentioned. Rather than spending my life on data entry and typing, I take a photo on my iPhone of business cards, wine labels, menus, anything I want to have searchable on the run. Clips websites. See that word clipping? We'll talk about that. Clips websites and articles for research. He used it almost exclusively for research for his book, The 4-Hour Body. So, I mean, it's good stuff. Alright, so here is the page for the Firefox extension. That is the little deal that you put on your Firefox browser, so that you can do the clipping and some other stuff, which I will talk about. There's also one for the Mac, and you won't need that for the phone because when you download the app, it has what it needs. So after you download it to your computer, make sure you add the toolbar or extension or whatever add-on to the browser that you're using. So let's go directly to Evernote. So when you install Evernote, you're going to open up this particular page. Now I just created a new account so I could show it, but you're going to open up this page. This is the dashboard. Now it's basically organized by what are called notes. Now, notes does not mean it's a handwritten note or something you write. Notes is the name of the file or the folder or wherever you want to call the piece of information. The piece of information is on a note. So when you see notes, it just means, it doesn't mean it's a note. It could be a video, it could be an audio, it could be an MP3, it could be a web page, it could be a scanned image, it could be a business card. No matter what it is, it's called a note in Evernote. And your notes are then organized into notebooks, which you can right click on and create new notebooks. I can create another one inside of that, or I can go up here and just create a basic notebook right up here. Share, new note. I mean, this kind of interface is not very difficult. Alright, so Darren Crawford, and if you Google Darren Crawford GTD, he's come up with a pretty unique way of using Evernote to make your life easier. And I'll just show you what he does. So he sets up, let's see if I do properties. He created a folder called Inbox, which you click the little box that says make this my default notebook. So he made one called Inbox, and he's got one called Next Actions, and then he's got one called Reference, which I couldn't figure out how to change the word notebook stack to reference. Notebook stack is what they default called it. I tried changing it, but it didn't work. So I have Inbox, Next Actions, Notebook stack. That's just the list of all the notes. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Alright, so when Darren uses Evernote, so he's on the web, he sees a web page, he adds it to Evernote, it goes directly into the inbox. He emails himself a message to Evernote, it goes into his inbox. He scans something in, saves it into Evernote, it goes into his inbox. He goes right on here, he writes a note, he takes a picture of a business card, whatever it is, it goes directly into his inbox. So his first phase of getting things done is have everything default go to your inbox, and then once it goes to the inbox, you have to tell yourself regularly that you need to go check your inbox. So when you check your inbox, which mine there's nothing in there right now, but there could be a note. Your first thing to do is, now that you've collected the information, that's phase 1 in getting things done. You've collected it in the inbox. The next thing to do is process it. So you open the inbox and you start to process. Process means you're going to open it up and you're going to click in here and you're going to add a tag, you're going to add a title, whatever that is, and then you're going to put it into a folder or into your action file. A folder would be a website that you just want to keep and not forget. You drag it into your, like I have a keyword research file. An action would be you emailed yourself something, a note that said I need to call Henry Wiggins at 7 a.m. on Friday, and you put his number in there, or I need to call Daryl this week, or I need to pick up laundry on my way home from work, or you could even have a file for things that you don't need any technology with you can do while you're out from your phone. So in his Next Actions file, he has create add to stack, new stack, notebook stack, new stack, notebook stack. How does that work? Darren's gonna have to tell you. Oh, the Next Actions. Oh, we can create the notebook inside of there. So he's got folders that are called like people I need to call when I'm out, or errands, or work that needs to be done, and he calls them contexts. So like I said, go to Darren Crawford, go to Google and search for Darren Crawford GTD, and you can find his tutorial on how this works. But basically, when he's out, like he's at the airport, he knows he needs to look into his @call folder and see what's in there, because those are the people that he needs to call. He's got time to call them. It's in his folder. When he is got time to kill between meetings, he can go into his @to-do folder and look for things that are to do. And once he's done with those, he immediately deletes them, and if they're important, he could save them into a file. So basically, you're taking the inbox into the Next Actions, and I said the Next Actions would be things like calling and to do and all that stuff, or you take the inbox directly into the reference, the notebook stack. So that's the basics of how his system works. And actually, where's that at? So if you go over here to DarrenCrawford.com, but just do Darren Crawford GTD, it will take you to this page in Google. So he talks about collecting, he talks about processing what's in the inbox and putting it into his @agendas, or @things he can do anywhere, or @calls. These are the names of the folders that he's created. Things he can only do while he's on his computer, errands, things he needs to do at home. And look at that, he's got things like clean the fish tank. So, I mean, he's really actually using it to change the way he works more than just as a filing cabinet. things that he's waiting for, that he doesn't want to forget. That's a good thing for to have for your bills, to check off every month and make sure that you received all your bills, just in case one got lost in the mail and you didn't pay it. So then he does, those action things. He goes through those and does them as they need to be done. And then when he's finished, they either get deleted or they get put into the reference files, which I had called the notebook stack files. So basically, this is just how to use Evernote to organize things. Now, there are tons of ways to get information into Evernote. That's probably the huge bonus. He actually has a definitive guide of Evernote Essentials down here on the bottom. So like I said, Darren Crawford, GTD. I'm going to close that. Where did that other one go? Twitter. Here's one for Twitter. If you want to save your tweets, or even save retweets, things that you found on Twitter that are really cool, you can just do Twitter and Evernote into Google, and you'll come up with this page. Basically, you follow at myn, and as soon as you follow them, they'll send you a direct message with a link in it. You click the link. It takes you to Evernote, where you log in, which means that you're now synced up with their Twitter account. And then whenever you find something cool on Twitter, whether it's something that you're saying or something that you're retweeting, all you have to do is add at myn into the tweet somewhere, and it will directly go into your Twitter account. And if you have it set up the way I just described, it would go into your inbox. So then you would have a tweet in your inbox that you want to save. Now, if that was a cool link about keyword research, I would tag it keyword research, and it would go right into that file. Or I could tag it Twitter, or I could tag it the person's name, and then it would go into all those files. So whenever I searched for that, it would be wherever I needed to find it. Sometimes somebody will tell you something cool, and you're like, man, that is a great tip. I got to remember that. And if it's a file, a piece of paper, in the olden days, you would take that back to the office and you would put that in your keyword research file in your filing cabinet. But a couple months later, you might think, dude, there was something awesome that I learned from that guy John at the party, but what was it? And you would never be able to find it because in the old days, you had a piece of paper, it was only in the keyword research file. It was nowhere else. So unless you remembered that it was about keyword research, you would never find it. But with Evernote, you can tag it with every single thing that you want. You can tag it with the name of the party, with the guy, with the date, with the idea, with the link name, with the website name, so that 2 months from now you can say, dude, I met this guy at Darren's party on March 1st. He told me something awesome. I don't remember what it was. If you tagged it with the date, you could go look at March 1st. If you tagged it with the party, you could go look at Darren's party. And a good thing about that is you could tag every business card that you got there with Darren's party, and then you can go back through and go, oh, these are all the people that I met that night, or these are the people I met at bar camp. So anyway, that's one of the huge benefits of Evernote, is being able to organize your life the way your mind thinks and not the way your filing cabinet is designed. So here, Twitter and Evernote is one great way to organize things that would be harder without this kind of quick integration. Here's the trunk. When you log into Evernote, you're going to see this trunk, and they call it the trunk, but it's really just all those super sweet apps you can get that that bring your stuff directly into Evernote. There's the mobile apps. I mean, they just go on and on and on. All kinds of stuff. So what's this one? Fast Ever. The single-purpose app allows you to quickly create Evernote text notes on your iPhone. I mean, that's cool. Download that to your iPhone. Desktop and web. Look at all these other things. PDF Pen. Edit PDFs on your Mac, then save them directly into Evernote. I actually use the LiveScribe pen, or the kind of pen that I write, and it records not only what I'm writing, but also the audio. So if I was in a class and I was taking notes I would have the audio of what the speaker was saying, plus I would have that tied to the actual physical written notes that integrates directly into Evernote. Sketch is here. This is one of those things you load up a picture or something that you want to share on Twitter, and it gives you a little short URL. Look at that, goes directly into Evernote. Just go here, click that, just tie your Evernote account into this, and then whenever you save something on Sketch, it goes into your account. What else is in here? Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. Sniptastic, hardware. Oh, the SnapScan. Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you about. The Fujitsu SnapScan, and I'll put a link to everything in here on the bottom. But the SnapScan scanner actually scans two sides at once directly into Evernote. So if you had a two-sided business card, you scan it right in, the scanner will recognize the text, it will turn it into a searchable PDF, goes directly into your Evernote account, and then you don't even have to tag it because the text is searchable, and somebody's name is in there. Whenever you search Evernote for your stuff, that document will come up. This is that pen that I have. That's the SnapScan. Just awesome stuff that you can do. When you log in, there's a button for video tutorials, and there are all kinds of them. Overview of Android for phone. Here's where you take a picture of some friends at a restaurant, and you save it to your Evernote account, and then in your inbox. Then when you get home, tag it with the people's names. But also, it's geotagged as well. So in Evernote, you can right-click on the photo, and it will bring up exactly where it was when you took that photo. So in here, all kinds of good stuff if you have questions. Also, YouTube's got good stuff. The last keyword tool. Why did I have that? Oh, I wanted to show you something. So here is the last keyword tool. I'm going to take this little icon right here, and I'm going to drag it down to Evernote. I'm going to drag it. Where am I going to drag it? Onto here. Now we'll drag it into keyword research because that's what it is. The last keyword tool is there, and I could tag this as keyword research. It's tagged, and it is in Evernote. So all I did was drag that little thing right down to the page. On the Mac, I think you would drag it right onto the icon, and then drag it right into the folder that you want. Very simple. That's why I opened that. Another one was, where did I have that? Oh, here. You got a picture saved on your computer. So my kids. Drag it right down there. Turns that picture into a note. I can open that up. There's my brood. And I could add family. I think, I'm not positive, we'll have to ask Darren, but I think when you actually take a picture with your iPhone or your Droid using the Evernote app, it will actually recognize the text that's like in a name tag on your shirt. I'm not sure if it does that in this kind of a photo, or if it needs the app on your phone, but it might be able to recognize YMCA. Anyway, that's my little dudes. So that was easy. All I did was drag it in there. What else do we have? Keyword research, the last keyword tool. I already used that. I already used the Firefox extension. And that brings up, I guess that brings up the last thing, Evernote. So that's pretty much it. That's the basics of how you use it, and what it's for. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I should cover, just to make it a good thorough. I covered ScanSnap, I covered collecting information, sending it to your inbox, I covered taking stuff out of your inbox and either putting it in the appropriate context folder, like, errands, or putting it in your reference files. I did not cover emailing something to yourself, but you can email notes and thoughts to your Evernote account. So if you wanted to like I sold some books the other day at the used bookstore, but I sold a big batch, so they told me when it was ready they would call me and tell me to come pick up the check. So I could easily have just put in there, in the waiting for file, I could have emailed myself, make sure I go back to McKay's or call McKay's to get my check. That would have gone directly to the inbox by email. I could have put it into the at waiting account or a note that I'd created. What else is there? Anything else that's fun? That might be it. Attributes, the created since before, the last modified. Let's see, if I create a new note, you set the title, the tags. I think you can just start writing. You can actually do bulleted lists and all kinds of crazy stuff with the right click. Formatting, you can do all the Word stuff that you want to do, the Microsoft Word. Oh, I think this was find it on the map. Set the URL if it needs to link to a URL. It's just cool stuff. Easy to delete, easy to keep in there, and then I can go on my phone, I can grab any of this information that I want at any time. And I actually am going to spend, I might have a VA do this, but I am going to spend the next couple weeks taking all the information that I have in my physical notebooks and putting it into Evernote, so that I no longer have to carry these physical notebooks around. Which is kind of the opposite of letters from Dan, because I'm a physical notebook kind of guy, but is what it is. It's time to get with the program. Alright, so that was the basics of Evernote. We will be meeting next week in a live webinar where we're going to share the screen and see what everyone's doing. I know there's a lot of people who are using it for their office. They're scanning in their bills, and they have then a complete history of their bills without needing a filing cabinet. They're scanning in receipts. The receipts are being able to be read by Evernote, so all the text is there. They can search for Home Depot and find all their Home Depot receipts. There's a lot of people that use it some cool ways, so I'm looking forward to Evernote number 2. Check out the links at the bottom for all the cool stuff that I talked about, and look for Evernote number 2, because I guarantee it's going to be cooler than this one. Alright, see ya.